Let's go ahead and get this ready. I had an intro video made for this, but I got tired and never finished it. It's been a busy week. Share post. But we got some flag football. Spring season's not done yet. Hard to believe, but spring season is not done yet. And here we are so close to summer. Wait, we're in summer. We're here. National Flag Football Series. Share. That's it. Go over. I'm pretty excited, though. I've only been to MAFFL once. I've been to Tucker Road once, too. I went to Tucker for Capital Classic 19. That was a good tournament. Probably one of the muddiest tournaments I've been a part of, though. We were at the one last year they did, but that wasn't even in Tucker. That was at Arlington, I think. They had it at that park in Virginia. Here we go. Do we got it going? Yes, we do. I don't even know how many views I got, but we'll just run with it. All right. Share Team Blood Talk. Perfect. Here we go. Perfect. Here we go. And there we go. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our usual set here at the garage. I'm your host, Joey Blaze, for a special edition of Blunt Talk. Joining me tonight, as always, is my co-host, Ross Collins.
Hi.
Who will not be joining us on Sunday, unfortunately. But we will have him on set tonight, as well as everybody else wanting to jump in.
I'll be tuning in every once in a while.
There's going to be some good content on Sunday. We got a really, really good playoff coming up this weekend in the MAFFL. Once again, 9-man championship. We already crowned 3 league championships. We're about to crown a 4th one. Really looking forward to it. Ross, what has your thoughts been this spring season in 9-man?
Pretty good football going around.
A lot of competition.
A lot of good stuff going around.
Yeah, this has been a very competitive spring in the DMV 4-state region.
MAFFL championship Sunday was crazy.
Yeah, Rampage and the Scorpions. And it's hard to believe, but there is a possibility. They are in opposite brackets again.
All right.
Could we get a Scorpions Rampage championship again?
Very good possibility.
Could there be a rematch of 2 weeks ago? And you think Rampage, so Trey, they have up to this point, Trey Lou, but up to this point, Rampage has had a dominant spring. They've won Ocean City, semifinalists in Atlantic City, semifinalists at Nationals to the eventual champion NTB Wolfpack. You go back, they were quarterfinalists in Clash of York, but that was a tough draw in that quarterfinal with the Scorpions on day 2. It was a wild game that day in New York. Before that, Rampage, though, they were on a bit of a run at the end of 2019. Started with Clash of York 1, where they beat the Renegades to win it. And then they went down to Tucker Road, a Capital Classic. People forget the last time Rampage played for a championship at Tucker Road, they won. They won the A bracket there, 2019 Capital Classic, beating 7-point spread. And you take a look at what they've done. They're obviously the number 1 team right now in the DMV. There's no disputing it based on the resume. Some say they don't play A, they don't play the main event, Strong Islands, they don't play the Lions, they don't play those guys, they don't play Punishers. But Rampage, when they do face the local competition on that A level this year, they have found success. They have beaten the Misfits. They beat the Scorpions. They beaten the Elite Rebels. The Dream got them earlier this year at MAFFL, though. Dream did get them in MAFFL earlier this year, a game which they were talking about the other night when we celebrated Rampage last week on Inside the MAFFL. But you take a look at this squad they have coming in. They've been a force for a while. They're eager to get a championship. They're trying to be the first team to ever win both MAFFL and OMFFL in the same season. It has never been done. We talk about players who've won multiple leagues in the same season. We've seen it the last couple of years. Go back to spring 19, both Jason Brady and Jason Kinsler on X-Dogs and ADR won KFFL in Washington County. Corey Barnhart on the Misfits and ADR won KFFL in Washington County. Most recently, you go back last season, Ron Ross won Washington County in MAFFL, playing for the Misfits and Blackhawks. David Butler over at Washington County and OMFFL for Misfits and Scorpions. Same for Travis Hale. You take a look at the guys going for multiple championships in the same season, a whole team could be doing it in this tournament. Tri-State Spartans had that chance in KFFL and County. They fell short in the semis to the Killer Bees, displayed right here, along with the other jerseys for tonight, the Affiliate Nation, the Ocean City Classic C champions. They too knocked off the Tri-State Spartans, as did Broadaxe, the Washington County Flag Football League champions, as did the Killer Bees in the semifinals. Can we see a Rampage Spartans match in Charm City Classic? The three champions here, listen already, I've played them.
We got Rampage in that one to do.
Hey, big guy, that'll be a good game. We'll see later on. We got a month till that. We got a lot of flag football to cover. But look around the league. You got Rampage. You got the No Mercy Scorpions. You got a lot of true MAFFL staple teams like the Blackhawks. They've been around for a long time. The Affiliate Nation, the team a lot of people have forgotten about. FOE, Southside, Team Petty, Playmakers Elite, a team that a lot of people have kind of forgotten about but shouldn't. PME had 3 in a row before COVID hit. DO got to the championship last season on the WAC Rebels. And what a championship that was between the Blackhawks and the WAC Rebels. An absolute classic that broke out last season in that championship. Rebels were up 14-0. They were the last seed, 1-7, entering the playoffs. They knocked off Petty. They knocked off Rideout, sent them straight to OMFFL. And then after that, in the championship, fell apart in the fourth quarter. Tommy Lightfoot, Sean Freeman and company rallying back to get the win. Absolute classic from start to finish. And, you know, you take a look at that game last season. That was an absolute classic, a true MAFFL game between two teams who have been there for a while. You take a look at Dream on the up and up right now. This league, you know, they've been through a lot of tough times. It has been a very tough stretch for MAFFL. The last B championship they had from the league was when Rideout went out. You could argue with Rampage and Ocean City, but like the last time a true MAFFL team playing the league only went down and won, that was Rideout at Charm City. Back in 19, they went up there and beat the Renegades. AFN won C bracket, though, in Ocean City. Dreams are making a statement, though. Team Petty, they looked really good in circuit play. Them and AFN had something nice at AC. A lot of people talked about the struggles the leagues had, but I feel like they're on the up and up again. And it was a tough stretch, though, the last year and a half. Once COVID hit, you had the loss of Malcolm Pittman right out the gate. Fall season was uncertain. Nobody knew what would happen. COVID outbreak happened earlier in the season. Fall, they ended up playing in Northern Virginia, had a hard time getting facilities in Southern Maryland due to the parks not being open. Same issues lingering into this year. They weren't able to get going. They had to play week 1 in Randallstown, actually. Rare occurrence. You had 2 leagues going on within the same city area, Baltimore, in the same day. In a true rare moment, we had a league game count for both leagues when Rampage played the Scorpions in week 1, a 7-7 tie.
Yeah.
But it's been a wild ride, and there's been a lot of teams on the up and up in this league. FOE has improved a lot from last season when I was watching them down in MAFFL. They got a lot of guys back. They're looking a lot better. Dream has been something to watch. You and I have gotten a chance to see them on many occasions. Like I said, the Petty AFN merger, I liked it a lot. And AC, thought there could be a lot done with that. We'll see where that goes as time goes on. They got to face each other, though, on Sunday. That's something a lot of people are overlooking. That's going to be a good matchup. Right out the gate, 9 a.m., AFN Team Petty. Southside, you take a look at them. They've been playing tough physical ball all year. PME, they have a shot. That PME Rampage game, right out the gate. Yeah. That's a first-round matchup, like deep league right now in MAFFL right now. A lot of good competition, a lot of talent. PME's going to come back. Dreams on the rise. Rampage is looking to do the impossible. You've had the No Mercy Scorpions in there. You got the Blackhawks trying to defend their throne. You got yourself a playoff to remember coming up this weekend. Let's take a look at the history, however, of the MAFFL championship. We got the page here. Let me go ahead and get that ready to share in a moment. Perfect. Let me go up. Sorry about that. I'm going to use it off the website. Here we go. MAFFL championships over the years. 2001 fall season, spring season, where the record goes back to, I should say. The 9-man champions that year were the Metro Chiefs. Metro Chiefs, true classic DMV team. I believe that is the same Chiefs team that my dad's team faced back in '97 in States. Yeah, going way back. 8-man full rush was Outcast. That was different time period in this sport. MAFFL had 3 divisions, or rather had back in 2001, 20 years ago. 9-man, 8-man full rush, which, you know, there's no counting. You're allowed to bring rushers. Yeah, different style that was played back then. 8-man ineligible was considered a 9-man B division at that time. Yeah, a lot has changed in flag football these last 20 years. And then there's the 8-man 2-count champions, the Jackasses. That's it.
Perfect, mate. Love that, mate.
Yeah. And for a while, that's kind of what they ran in MAFFL, the 9-man, 8-man full rush, 8-man 2-count. Over the years, look at the 9-man champs. We're going to focus on them a little bit more. Metro Chiefs, they had a run to start this off. They won both spring and fall in 01. Spring 02 champions. Fall 02, there was nothing offered for 9-man that season, actually. However, you look at the champions coming up around that time, Whack Rebels, who that's a franchise still around today, playing last year. And of course, you have 7 guys on the Elite Rebels now. You take a look over the years. In 2003, it was redubbed A Division, which was 9-man. Metro Chiefs still continued to run. However, it was stopped that fall by, I think it says BS and the boys. That's a different one. $sign for the S. DC Bad Boys the next spring. Rough Riders the fall. Bit of a parody went on for a bit in the league. Pro champions in the spring of 05. You had the Beltway Bruins all met and as well. Looks like a bit of a split off there. As you keep going through the list over and over, you start seeing a lot of names, team names popping up that might be familiar. The true core of the league, teams like the Blackhawks, been there for a while. Fast Eddie's back in the day. The league has grown significantly. It's been around for a while. You start seeing Ride Out popping out, 2010 fall champions. Blackhawks taking it in the spring of 11. Southside champions and 8-man that year. No, I don't think that's the same Punishers. Yeah, I don't think Punishers DMV was a thing back then. Metro Dogs, and then yeah, Blackhawks, Savages. Savages goes way back. I remember Savages. That's early on from when I started watching. Blackhawks again with another championship. Explosion as well. They had a good run in the fall 15 and 16. 7-point spread winning in spring 16.
the very year they ended up winning the national championship. In January, they won it that year, 17. WAC Rebels and the Maryland Bullies ended up winning spring and fall. 18, Rideout and PME, and that was the start in fall of 18 of the 3 in a row, the three-peat, so to speak, for Playmakers Elite. They ended up winning both championships in 19. However, 2020, as we mentioned, the COVID outbreak caused them to fold early in the season. Players were dispersed for the most part, and they're going to the WAC Rebels. Some guys ended up sitting out. PME back, though, they're in full force. They're hyped. They're excited. To them, they didn't lose the championship. They weren't there last year to defend their throne. They had to back out. Things weren't risky. Try to pull up standings, but it seems like it's from the spring of 19. Let me try to pull the real one in a moment. I'll stop sharing. But you take a look at this league and the amount of talent, competition. MAFFL was and still is one of the best leagues in the DMV. And I'm really, yeah. Yeah. And I'm really excited to have an opportunity to go down there again. Really glad to go to Tucker Road. Like I mentioned, we were there back in 2019. That was the last time I was down there. That was for Capital Classic. Scorpions 1B, Rampage 1A. And here we are all these years later. We're going to be back again this Sunday down there. Trying to pull up the standings if I can. The one I have was from 2019. Looks like the website wasn't updated on that. I might be on the old page, though. But I'm really excited to see how this all goes this weekend. I believe I got the standings now. Yes, I do. Let's go ahead and share that. This is the current MAFFL standings as we take a look. No Mercy Scorpions, of course, their first place in the league, 6-2-1. That one tie was against Rampage back in week 1. Let me zoom in on all this, actually, make it a lot easier to read. There we go. FOE second, they're 6-4 this year. That's a team who I've been saying they've been improving as time is going on. So that's where they were last fall. I thought they made a big statement at Nationals and OC. They definitely have a lot of potential. I believe they are playing A, I was hearing, for Charm City. That's a team step to the plate and ready to go play ball. Rampage 5-3-1. Crazy enough, 3 of Rampage's losses this year have been in MAFFL. Didn't lose an OMFFL, undefeated. Only one circuit loss this circuit season. That was the Rideout. The other 3 losses came in the MAFFL. The one tie, of course, was the Scorpions. So overall, Rampage, they got 4 losses this year. Out of those 4, 3 are in the MAFFL. Just shows you how tough it is, especially going on the road and competing. Some of those Rampage guys coming down from Baltimore and competing. Tough territory. But the last time a championship was on the line in Tucker Road, Rampage was victorious. Blackhawks 4th place. They're 5-5 on the year. Looking to defend their title. Always have respect for the Blackhawks. You know they gave it to us in York a couple years ago.
Sloppy game.
Sloppy did.
Sloppy game.
Great game, though. Great game.
It was a good game.
That was a battle. I always have respect for the Blackhawks from that game alone. Dream, 5-5 won the year, but they played some tough competition. They've been playing A bracket ball. They faced the likes of Main Event and Strong Island, along with that tough gauntlet in the MAFFL. Playmakers Elite, they're 5-3 on the year. They're getting back in championship form. They're going to be ready to go come Sunday. Southside Underdogs are 7-4-4. I have not had a chance to really get seen Southside yet. Hopefully I get a chance to this weekend. I believe they're going to be playing some more tournaments soon. So really excited about that. AFN, they're 4-6 this year. I think they're going to come locked and loaded, though. They're ready to come for playoff time. Yeah. And then Team Petty, they're 9th at 1-9 on the year, which
kind of a different reflection than what we've seen on the circuit. Petty's played some pretty good ball this year. Remember, they got day 3 at Worlds, or Nationals rather. We're away from that. Ocean City, they had a tough draw on day 2 right out the gate with Blackhawks. We always go back to it. The last thing you want on a Sunday morning, or even on day 2 in general, is a league game, because you're going to be against somebody who knows you better than anybody else. And unfortunately for Petty, it was a 6-0 loss to the Blackhawks, a game that you, Ross Collins, had in Ocean City.
I did.
Got a chance to see a nice little MAFFL matchup. Let's go ahead and we'll talk about the matchups for this weekend coming up. I'm really excited. This is going to be an awesome playoff. Like, I looked at the schedule when it came out a couple days ago when Kent posted it, and this is going to be a good day of flag football. And I can't even think of a better way to end spring season than on Tucker Road for MAFFL. We ended it last season in Keystone and Shippensburg. Let's see what we got this year to end it in the season at Tucker Road. So take a look at the schedule. Right out the gate, 9 a.m., we're going to have Team Petty and the affiliate nation. This is kind of small, so I'm going to zoom it in. I was trying to actually make it a little bit more legible. Can't really zoom. Oh, well. So Petty and AFN, that's going to be 9 a.m. I'm going to have that game. Remember, the other day we announced it. We will be broadcasting all games this weekend, not just on Facebook Live. We usually will be on Facebook Live. You know, last season we were dabbling in the YouTube Live. You know, Twitch has started to get a lot of momentum as a streaming platform, not just for gaming, but for other things as well. And so with that, this weekend, you're going to get the best of all worlds. We're going to be broadcasting Team Petty and AFN, as well as all other games on not just Facebook on Joey Blaze, not just YouTube on Team Blunt Talk, not just Joey Blaze Team Blunt Talk on Twitch.tv. We're going to be on all 3. And you get the best resolutions on all 3. We're going to be at 1080p on YouTube, 720 on Facebook. Twitch will be 1080p as well. You got 3 options to watch it, 3 apps to see it. Tell me how it looks. I won't be able to see comments. I'll try to read up on it when I can. But we'll be broadcasting right there for that weekend on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I recommend Facebook if you're on the go, driving in your car, wanting to listen. Albeit, I do believe the YouTube app's a little bit better when you're driving because it does play in the background if you got premium. The app itself, you can get on a smart TV for YouTube, watch it at your home, put your recliner up like you're watching a game on TV. Twitch, you know, so I know some of you gamers on your Xboxes and PS2s or whatever you got nowadays. I know I'm dating myself.
PS2.
Yeah.
They on like 7 now or something?
No. They had the PS2s and their Sega Genesises.
Oh.
Yeah. You know how the kids roll these days. Yeah. But afterwards, we're going to have we're going to air Playmakers Elite Rampage. We're going to go with that game. Dreaming Blackhawks in the other field. Wish I was there for that one. That's going to be a really good game. Talk about a bunch of upstarts and Dream playing against a veteran team in Blackhawks. You know, Dream getting the taste of A bracket ball, but the Blackhawks can tell you back in the day, they too could play A. And at times, they still can play on that kind of level in this area. I'm looking forward to Blackhawks versus Dream. That's going to be a good game. And joining us right now, perfect timing to talk about that matchup, is the quarterback of Blackhawks who orchestrated that tremendous comeback. Ain't the first time we've seen Tommy Lightfoot make a comeback on a team.
No.
Wasn't the first time, but it was the best time for him and company. 3 touchdowns in 9 plays. People forget they had 3 touchdowns in 9 plays to win that game at the very end.
That meant every 3 plays they scored. A great offensive performance to end it. And I'll tell you, Tommy, what a game it was last year for the MAFFL championship.
Yeah, that definitely was an exciting game, man. We fell behind and had to battle back, and then in overtime, right before overtime, remember they got down to the 1 yard line.
Yeah, that play that they, oh my gosh. I remember they were so close. I even thought they scored on that play. I really thought the WAC Rebels had scored.
Right.
And the ref signaled down at the 1, and I think part of it, they delayed themselves. Some of them started celebrating prematurely. They thought they had it, and the ref said no. Time ran out. Blackhawks got the ball right back, scored, game over after the stop on 4th down, and so was the championship. In fact, you know what? While we're talking, we're going to go back. We're going to replay it for those who didn't have a chance to watch it. We posted the video the other day on the Facebook page from the YouTube. Here we go. We're going to get this one on real quick. Blackhawks, WAC Rebels, 2 old school MAFFL franchises facing off in this championship game. Your impressions of last season coming into this game, Tommy, and where things were?
I mean, we were very confident last season, and you know, when everyone was there, we felt like we had the best squad. This season has been challenging because we haven't had our whole squad for any game. Like even myself, I missed 4 games with a concussion from a car accident.
Sorry to hear.
Yeah. So this season's been challenging, but every time that we are full strength, we play good ball. Even at Nationals, we didn't get the end result we wanted, but we were able to beat the Wolfpack on Saturday, and then they got us Sunday morning. The competition is definitely there this year. I don't recall a playoffs where, there was such parity in the past. You have Scorpions won OMFFL like 6 times in a row. We've won MAFFL 5 times. PME won 3 in a row, as you mentioned, before COVID. Rampage is the hottest team right now. Dream is a young, talented team. Southside, FOE, everyone's improved. So it's very, very competitive playoffs this year. So I think it's going to be a good time. Be fun.
I agree 100%. It's a very stacked bracket when you look at it. Like if you didn't know, this looks like a circuit tournament. This looks like a day 2 money day.
Right.
Tournament.
Yeah. And I mean, you look at the standings, like everyone's pretty much from 4 wins to 6 wins.
Yeah.
In a normal season, you'll see 8-2, 9-1. And then you'll see teams 3-7 and 4-6 and different things. But, this year you see everybody around that 500 marker because from what I've seen, like, we played Rampage twice. We went up to Baltimore. We only had like 10 or 12 people. And then they came to MAFFL. So they beat us in Baltimore. Then they came to MAFFL and they were shorthanded and we beat them. And then we played PME. They were shorthanded. We won that game. We played Southside. We were shorthanded. They beat us. So, in the playoffs, no one's shorthanded. You're going to have your full squad, so that's going to make it even more exciting because a lot of these victories that you see in the standing were not complete squads. They weren't, 30-man rosters or whatever. People will have 18, 15, whatever it may be, players, and it's not their entire squad. So it's going to be even more competitive than in the regular season.
And that's been something that I think a lot of younger teams don't take into consideration sometimes. We were talking to Rampage last week on our MFFL show. They were talking about Dream being really hyped about beating them. But the thing about it is, for a young team like Dream, this is going to be a bit of a different test. Like you said it before, they know what day 2 is already like.
Yeah.
Playing in circuit ball.
Yep.
But when it comes to league play, especially when it's against a veteran team like Blackhawks, who you guys, I compare to a local team around here we got called the X Dogs.
Yeah, I know the X Dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they always respect them. They always play tough. Smart football team.
Yeah. Oh, I liked watching you and Matt Eisenberg duke it out back in OC a few weeks ago. It was awesome to see that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, always classy too, man. Always classy guy.
Yeah, I always felt like you guys were similar in the sense of style of play between both sides, physical ball, mobile quarterbacks, and you and Matt. And the longevity of success, both franchises gone for at least 20 years now. We just saw X-Dogs in the KFFL championship against Killer Bees, semi-finalists in county as well. And you know what, you guys here, you got the job done against the WAC Rebels. Going through this game at this point, it's 14-0. They're up on you guys. What were your thoughts?
Long as we kept it within 2 touchdowns, I knew it would be good. I was a little worried if it got to that 3 touchdown marker, but if it's within 2, having the firepower that we have, I wasn't too concerned. What I was more concerned about is they were scoring too easy, and then when we were on offense, they were getting a good pass rush. So we made some adjustments in the blocking scheme. And then we start hitting on all cylinders. We were good. All we needed was a stop or 2 on defense. So that's
it began right here.
Yeah, definitely. So I think overall, that second half is more what we're used to doing. Style of play.
This play, I think.
Yeah, this was big.
Oh my gosh. It's a shame I wasn't taller to get a better shot of that, but like just that lateral alone. Was he even looking to throw that back when he threw that back? I don't think he was looking. And it still worked. Beautiful play.
Yeah.
Shit was trash.
I'm hating prop.
It was good. It was good.
Greg Proctor, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Right now, we're going over film from last year's MAFFL championship. I was here a week after I caught you, Greg, winning MAFFL against Aftermath. We were down here in Virginia. Much better weather in this game. It was about 64 when I rolled up and sunny.
Right.
At this point in the game, WAC Rebels starting to kind of slip a little bit here. The Blackhawks comeback was just ferocious in this second half. And it's a tough draw. Dio, you could tell just by the way he played in this game. He wanted it. He wanted that 4th title in a row. And he played a really good game, just could not get the help he needed at the trenches at times. The defense just getting schooled in the second half by that Blackhawks attack. Like we mentioned, 3 scores in 9 plays by that Blackhawks offense to win that game. And then the pick right here, crucial interception at the right moment.
That was big. That definitely MVP for Deshaun on that one.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, Proc, y'all going to be ready Sunday?
Yeah, got my popcorn ready. Yeah, we should be good to go.
Y'all wearing that gray?
Y'all
wearing your gray? That gray?
Man, that's all we got, man. It's either gray or dark blue.
All right. Yeah, I'll make sure we don't wear our gray then. But we gotta get past drink first.
I think y'all be all right. Who y'all got first?
Dream. 10-15.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, they tough. The young boys hungry.
Your advice, fellas, to these young men entering the league playoffs. Let me talk about circuit ball, but circuit ball is always give or take. You never know who you're going to draw day 2. Could be anybody from anywhere. But in league ball, you got a lot of teams who played for years. They're a bit more established. They're going to have all their guys there. As you mentioned, Tommy, Blackhawks will not be short. Scorpions won't be short either. What is your advice to a young team like Dream coming in here, if any?
I mean, for me, I think two things. One, they just need to stick together. Like, don't give up on it as soon as they don't get the results they want.
Yep.
And then two is they need to dissect what the vet teams do. Like how the vet teams pull out victories, whether it be in league play or tournaments or whatever, and just learn from it. I mean, same thing. We had to get past Metro Dogs, and we learned a lot through those battles, but also just watching them as well, and then, we were in that seat for quite a few years too. So you gotta, copy what works when we're talking about the chemistry of the team or the schemes or the formations or whatever. You gotta not try to invent the wheel and learn from the vet teams, But I think the biggest problem is a lot of the young guys aren't patient enough, man. They jump around teams.
I think it has happened quite a bit. I think a lot of guys jump around, and I had a conversation actually with somebody who'd been in the game for many years a few weeks ago. We were talking about it. I feel like for a lot of guys who do jump, it's them just not sure what they want, because a lot of guys come into the game, either a friend of a friend or they hear about it and jump in. And typically, I think what happens is they don't know anybody at the beginning. And so they're just kind of in a random crowd of people that they either just met that day, or in other cases, they have one friend in the team who brought them on. But other than that, they don't have anything in common with a lot of the other guys. And
Right.
When they don't get playing time, they feel like they're wasting their time, which has become a mindset of a lot of players, which I kind of get that too. If you're coming out every Sunday, you're missing work, you're missing something else, I would want the bump too, and any chance I get to improve myself. But I do think sometimes guys rush in and rush out and don't get time to make that change or evolution. And some guys lose out because of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely about self when you first join a team, but then if you stick it out, then you got to be about the team results. I mean, Metro Dogs probably beat us in 5 championships before we broke through. So a lot of people aren't patient enough to go through that process.
That's a fact. That's an absolute fact. As we see the Blackhawks celebrating 2020 MAFFL champions with the win here, the sole champion of 2020, undisputed MAFFL champion. Classic game all around with you all in the WAC Rebels. I'm really looking forward to the matchup with Dream on Sunday. I think that's going to be a nice contrast of veterans versus young talent. And of course, Dream, they got the veteran leadership on the sidelines, but it's going to be interesting to see how those young kids come out there and play against a Blackhawks team who, I've said it before, one of the most physical teams out there.
Yeah, we'll be fully loaded now. Be ready, but we're definitely not overlooking anybody. A lot of good.
Are you playing this time, Tommy?
I'm playing, champ. I'm playing.
Okay. All right.
I missed quite a bit of time, but I shook a little rust off, so I'm ready to go.
Okay.
I gotta say, the quarterbacks on that side of the bracket, you take a look at it. You got you, Tommy, and Greg, of course, but you also look at what's going on. Petty's going to have battle at quarterback. Can never underestimate what he brings to the field. Great football mind. AFN, I believe they had Trail down there. I'm not sure if that's the case.
Yeah, I think Trail back.
But yeah, Trail back there. We've seen what he can do. We were here, of course, 3 years ago when he won Washington County up here at AFN. Trail's always a veteran. You got a lot of leadership, and between the 4 of you, there's at least nearly 100 years of flag football experience at position, that bracket alone.
That's mostly Greg. That's mostly his years.
Good go. Hold up, Tommy. Man, we about the same age, brother.
I know.
And you've been playing a lot longer. You still got them black and white photos.
Stop it. Stop, man.
You know I ain't lying.
Hey, there's one of those, only one.
That's all you need is one.
That was a newspaper. That was a newspaper joke.
Oh, yeah, nah.
Hey, I was trying to remember earlier. How many did y'all win in OMFFL straight before Rampage won this one?
Oh, man. Seriously, I think it was like we may have won 3 or 4 in a row at one given time because there was the initial no, I think it was like 4, then Rampage won, then we won back to back, and then we just lost.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad y'all came down, man. Y'all and Rampage gonna spice it up. You know, that's between y'all, us and PME and Dream and some of the other guys.
Definitely.
It's gonna be a battle.
Yeah, and we talked about the quarterbacks on that bracket. You take it to the other side, right there alone, Rampage, PME. You're going to get Chris Price versus Dio, and that's going to be a battle.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Let's take a look at the bracket as well. The rest of the matchups. 10-15, of course, we got Dream and Blackhawks. I'll be on the other side for PME, Rampage.
How you gonna do it?
What's that?
I like that matchup. I ain't mad at you. That's all right.
It's tough. Like if it was like Ocean City at the school where the fields were next to each other, it'd be perfect. That was a good set. Tucker, I like Tucker though. I like the way Tucker's set up with that. The fields are pretty close by each other, so moving back and forth should be pretty easy. Actually, from the looks of it, I'll be on field 2 to start the first 2 games, and then 11:30, I'll be over on your field, Greg, as the No Mercy Scorpions take on the winner of AFN and Team Petty.
Right.
Got to ask you, Greg, who do you got in that matchup between AFN and Petty right out the gate?
Oh, man. If I had to go with somebody, it'd probably be Petty. Just because of the Petty, I mean, everybody battle smart back there. Smart. Not to take anything away from and Trell coming off an injury. I'm not sure how much playing time he's been, or I should say how much he has been playing since his foot injury, but
he actually made a appearance in Washington County last month.
Okay.
Yeah, he looked good. He just didn't have a team around him.
Oh.
Yeah, he played against our Warrior squad, and unfortunately, I fell for Trail. Yeah. He'll do better on Sunday, though. He'll do better on Sunday.
Okay.
I like it. Like I said, I've seen what he can do. He got that championship a few years ago up here. He beat a very good Adrenaline Rush team in that championship game. So I look forward to seeing what they got coming in store for that playoff matchup of AFN at 9 a.m. The other matchup at 11:30 will be Southside FOE. Gentlemen, who do you got in that one between Southside and FOE? It'll be on the opposite bracket. So I feel like I can ask a little bit about it.
I don't know. They both are much improved. So if I had to say though, if I had to choose, I would say Southside.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Why? Because a young quarterback?
They have some athletes that have made a difference over there, and like we were up 20-6 on them. They came back and beat us 26-20 or something.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they got some athletes.
Okay.
Who snuck y'all? Was it Southside that snuck y'all too?
Nah, FOE and Petty beat us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tough play. Yeah, so but FOE's been tough starting with Nationals. They played tough down Nationals.
Mm-hmm.
They've been tough too. So it could go either way. I don't know. Southside seemed like they got some good momentum going right now. We'll see.
Right.
Yeah. All right, man. I'm gonna sign out. I got the fan with me. I got to drive.
Go ahead, bro. See you Sunday.
All right. See you Sunday. See you, Joe. All right.
Tommy Lightfoot joining us. Greg, welcome on the show. Glad to have you. Let's go back and talk about, because we got you on now, let's talk about what happened in MAFFL 2 weeks ago, you guys had the toughest challenge on that bracket of anybody.
Indeed.
2 straight overtime games with the Misfits and then with the Maryland Titans. You had to face off against Chris Boone and Doc and against 2 very loaded teams in Misfits who brought the best from the 4-state region. Of course, you had as well the Titans, who arguably is the most improved team from last fall.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You see the difference is made with Doc back there. Doc has just revolutionized that offense.
Oh, yeah.
And the rest of the team is playing up. Your impressions of that doubleheader to start and then the Rampage championship game?
Oh, man. Man, going against the Misfits, man, is always tough, man. I mean, Smart back there. It's always a chess match. I should say it's definitely been a chess match between Tyler and myself back there since he plays the safety spot. And it's just a matter of, basically who has the ball last and who could just make the play. I mean, when you really think about that game, like, it was really, 7-6? And then the kickoff return or something like that we had, and we wound up scoring and gave Boone a minute and 40 seconds left to come down and do what he do. So, and then overtime, it was just a matter of who was going to break. Not Ben, but who was going to break. So, and we were fortunate enough to pull that, get that W.
That was an epic battle. And I think a big part that really helped you guys was, and I always say this, like, I've known Chris Boone for about 4 years. I've actually followed about all of Chris Boone's 9-man career. I was there when he had his first game at quarterback at 9. And all the years of watching him, the one thing about Boone is that he has that fast-paced style, that up-tempo. He'll hit the quick strikes that'll go for 60. Find the right matchup. He'll take off running. You saw that yourself. Boone ran in one for a touchdown against the Scorpions.
Yeah.
To go. And the one thing I think that really helped you guys in that game was you immediately took control of the clock and the pace. And keeping him off the field and limiting what he can do and slowing him down effectively helped out the Scorpions. And I thought it worked out really well. It made Boone impatient. It made him off his game a little bit. But by the fourth quarter, when he was starting to get his opportunities, he stepped up in a really big way. Yeah. He had that touchdown to Al, and of course he run himself. But ultimately, it was the Scorpions victorious in that one. And honestly, you look back at it, you guys technically played 3 games. The 5 overtime periods you played might as well have been a third game.
Yes. That's 2 overtimes with Misfits, then 3 overtimes with the Titans.
Yeah, and that heat probably wasn't helping either of those dark gray jerseys.
No, not at all.
You guys got to get like a white jersey for the summertime.
We talked about it.
I like the dark gray though. I like the dark gray with the blue and green scheme. I think that's a nice one for you guys. It's different, but I like it a lot. Right. Going over Rampage championship game, your impressions. Well, actually, let's go over the Titans game real quick. Your thoughts on that Titans game? Triple overtime. Rock versus Doc. Once again, what a classic.
Yeah. Hold up. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it was obviously who was going to have the ball, who was going to break at the end of all of that. Yeah, we came out striking hard. Like after the Misfits, it felt like everything started to calm down for me, and we were able to have a couple quick strikes. But Doc was able to hit on 2 big plays. Like felt like I would drive, make a whole drive, and then boom, it's 1 play, touchdown. Then they stopped us. Then another play, 1 bomb touchdown again. I'm like, Oh man, it's like it puts us behind the 8 ball a little bit when you get those. I call them one-quitter hitters right there, one-hitter quitters. It's just like, oh man. Now, granted, those wasn't drives. It was like, can you sustain a drive? And the Titans didn't really display that until towards the end. And again, those 3 overtimes, man, that definitely fatigued us all around the board.
I can imagine, especially with Kenwood. Kenwood, I can argue, is in the summertime is probably the hottest facility you could play in outside of a turf field.
Yeah, it felt like a pit. It felt like I was in my own barbecue pit.
Oh yeah. Wait till Charm City next month.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
There ain't much shade unless you go into the forest. But going over Rampage championship game, early on you guys went up 7-0. Seemed like you guys were still on the go, still had some momentum. But after that, Rampage defense stepped up in the big way. 25 unanswered. It was still a really close game into the fourth quarter. Rampage's last 2 scores were in the final 2 minutes of the game.
Oh, were they?
They were close to it. Pick 6 at the end.
Yeah.
But ultimately, in the end, Rampage got the dub. Your impressions of that matchup against Rampage from a few weeks ago, and do you believe, is it possible, could we see a rematch?
I would love to see a rematch. I would love to see a rematch. Yes. I want to play them, not playing, it felt like all those games that we played Sunday, like kind of like on an even keel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would, yeah. And they can have that same crew out there. I want them to have the same crew out there. Yeah.
I think it'd be the most appropriate way to end this season. Seemed like back in the preseason, it was always Rampage and No Mercy playing for the chip. Why not one more time? Why not another league championship matchup? Who is the best in the DMV between the No Mercy Scorpions and the Rampage?
Yeah, but that also too, like, I think Rampage, if they wanted to be, they could be an A team.
I agree with that assessment. Like, some may point to Charm City 19 and say it didn't go well. But, man, you got to play the Strong Island Bulldogs twice in a tournament at the height of the summer of Birdman, where he went third straight championship. You remember that summer? It was all the big talk was Birdman that summer.
Yeah.
And Rampage, unfortunately, had a very tough draw that weekend, having to play them twice, Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about it. I do believe, like, if you throw out the AB designation, Rampage is just as good as the 18th in the DMV. They are on that level.
Oh, most definitely.
What are your thoughts on the current A movement in the DMV? Where, a couple years ago, if you were to talk teams in the A from this area, you had Aftermath, you had Anarchy. I know you guys would pop into local tournaments. I remember the first Scorpions game I did watch was Charm City 19 when you guys played Gladiators. Had an opportunity to see you face off against Matt Bailey that day.
Right.
Absolute classic. That's on YouTube for those who want to get back and watch.
I try not to watch that one too much. Barely last minute drive on us. Like, but yeah.
But yeah, you take a look at it. Like, what do you think of the movement? Because, like, Misfits made the move. You made the move. Rideout's making the move. A lot more teams are starting to make the move for Charm City. A lot of the local teams at Charm City are getting prepared for A bracket ball. Baez Auto, even a team that we don't talk about in league play. Usually they haven't put a team out in league ball in a while. But they're making a move to A, FOE, Dream. Like, what do you make of this? Because a few years ago it was Aftermath, Anarchy, Adrenaline Rush. You guys would pop in from time to time. Rampage would play some local tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
I know they were back-to-back in Hagerstown and Capital Classic winning. Your impressions on this? You know,
so you want the
you were
do you want the
back
politically correct way, or do you want my honest?
I want your honest opinion. This is
honest opinion. All right, I think so. It kind of goes twofold. I think some of the B teams, you know, some of the people that you mentioned that jumped up to the A, probably thought that maybe not too many New York teams were coming down here, so they took a stab at, you know, going to the A, since it's like, oh yeah, these are pretty much DMV guys, you know, sprinkling a couple of New York teams, not the heavy hitters that got in, of course, a little bit later. And then now it's like, ooh, you know, on that. But here's the second part to it, though. I think this is the last quote unquote major tournament on the circuit prior to Florida that a lot of the DMV teams will go to. And I think that a lot of those teams who jumped up to the A will play your quote unquote A caliber teams. And then when it's time for nationals, they have already played some real heavy hitters, or potentially play some heavy hitters, which will ease up kind of like their run for the B national chip.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you had a Rampage, and I'm just using this for an example, is Rampage in the A?
Rampage is playing B in Trump.
Okay. So let me just use that. So let's just say Rampage got in at A, right? And they play against your SI Bulldogs, or, you know, play against us, or even some of the lower caliber A teams. You get a vote of confidence, you know, and you win a couple, and you're not playing a main event or SI Bulldogs right away. You get a little vote of confidence. It's like, hey man, we can really play, right? And let's just say you happen to lose in the semis or however far you get on Sunday. Well, now you know where you gauge up, you know, where you stack up against the A teams. So now when you go play B, it's like, hey, let's keep that same momentum. Let's keep that same hunger that we had in that A tournament. Hey, if we could play against these other teams, we should be able to go through, you know, get this B national championship. And I really believe that this year, the DMV will have a B national championship.
I believe that is going to be the case as well. I definitely believe that 100%. The DMV, for as much flack as we've gotten over the years from those up north, we'll be talking about them in a few weeks when we get the Charm City Classic. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be and you know, we talk about that tournament. That's going to be the closest thing you'll see to a mid-season nationals.
Mm-hmm.
AC, I thought, was stacked on terms of the talent there. But it's coming to Baltimore next month on terms of teams, whether they're from MFFL, MAFFL, Washington County, GCFFA, KFFL, St. Louis even. We just got confirmation as Preston and Skinny. They're coming down with Show Me Football to Trump City in the B. I think there's a spot open. Can we see the NTB Wolfpack perhaps sneak in? Where are they at? That's a big question.
Yeah.
And I know you know all about the NTB Wolfpack, Greg. Last time we saw you face them, World 2020.
Yeah. It was a good day.
But I'm really we're gonna have a lot of good football this summer. And it's awesome because, like, in a way, this tournament this weekend, the playoff rather, I should say, in MAFFL is going to be off the hook with the matchups alone. You said, of course, you want Rampage on the other bracket on the other side. Who do you got in the semis? Do you face Stream or Blackhawks? Do you get Tommy or do you get the new kids on the block?
Well, see, they you know, those two teams definitely know each other really well. I probably would have to go with the veteran leadership of Tommy back there. But Dream, boy, good gracious, yeah, they got talent all the way across that board. But yeah, I'll probably have to lean more towards Tommy, and if he has this cast of talent, it'll be I would see them. I'm predicting to see them in the semis.
All right. So your final four will be you, Blackhawks, Rampage, and who do you got between Southside and FOE?
You know what? I'm gonna have to go with. Hold up. Did you say Rampage?
Yeah, as a semifinalist. They're playing.
You got them beating PME?
I said you got Rampage.
I didn't say I had Rampage.
Chip. Yeah.
I mean, I prefer to see them in the chip, but they got to get past PME.
That's going to be a really
going to be like,
game.
Yeah, that's like, yeah, that game opener right there. Whoo. Yeah.
We'll be live for that one, 10:15 a.m. That's going to be a really good one. Of course, we'll have your game with either AFN or Petty. Then after that, we're going to see where we go. If Scorpions get the win, we're going to go and film the Scorps. You guys are number 1 seed coming in. Can't really skip out on that one. Especially if we get a nice little matchup there between you guys and Blackhawks. I think that'll be a really good semifinal potentially building up there. Yeah,
I like that one. Yeah, and let's just say, assuming just because we played against FOE, and they did beat us, so I would have to go with FOE.
FOE, all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I really, and that's just because I haven't seen any of Southside games, any of them. So, I don't. I just know that they got from what I hear, they got a nice young quarterback back there who's doing everything. So,
your impressions on playing in 2 leagues this year? Because No Mercy Scorpions, Rampage, and Tri-State Spartans are the 3 teams that ended up playing in 2 different leagues this spring season.
Mm-hmm.
Your impressions going back and forth. 1 week you're in Baltimore, you're playing against the likes of Bad Boys, Misfits, and Elite Rebels. And then next week you're in MAFFL and you got FOE, you got Blackhawks, you got Dream.
Mm-hmm.
What has it been like this year for the No Mercy Scorpions? Because you guys, as I mentioned, you guys, Rampage and Spartans, the only 3 teams to be in 2 leagues.
Right.
You 3 alone have played the most 9-man games this year of any teams. What's it been like in this bit of a gauntlet? Because every weekend has to feel like a circuit weekend with the competition you're facing.
Exactly.
MFFL, MAFFL, and the actual circuit.
Right. And that's the way we took it. So one of the reasons why we jumped in both leagues was to, because of the merger, we're just not the regular Scorpions, we're No Mercy Scorpions, with the merger of Aftermath and Scorpions, some of the Aftermath players. We wanted to kind of gel together. And because of all the players that we had on our roster for both MAFFL as well as, on MFFL, it was all about playing time, getting people, making sure everybody was happy with playing time and making sure they get a game, making sure they're just not sitting. So we definitely, there was opportunity there to play in both leagues. And we wanted to make sure that we had kind of like a tournament style schedule. So we wanted those 3 games. We figured like, hey, if you're going to play a tournament, you're going to have pretty much that Sunday, you're going to have 3 games at least to win. So why not go ahead and just start getting your body ready for it now? And that's what we did. And we kind of enjoyed it. And right now, I'm really loving the fact because now somewhat avenge my loss in that chip, and hopefully I could bring home a MAFFL chip.
I'm looking forward to it. I really think this is going to be an awesome event, and the potential of a Scorpions Rampage rematch is something that I'm looking forward to, as well as the other matchups. We got a strong lineup that morning. You got AFN and Petty. That's an old school MAFFL matchup right out the gate. We had them 2 years ago when they played each other in Capital Classic. Over on that field, too, the Mud Pit. You remember that?
Yeah.
AFN beat Petty by 1 that day and then lost to the Scorpions in the next round.
Yeah.
Can history repeat itself on the same field?
It will. No matter who come out that game winning between AFN and Petty, they will lose.
Guaranteed by Greg Proctor. Of course, we got Rampage PME right after that. The team who never truly lost their throne in PME. Now, you could say, yeah, Dio and a couple of the guys, they were on the WAC Rebels last year against Blackhawks. But we didn't get to see all of PME last season in MAFFL. You know, they want their 4th championship. They got to play against Rampage, who arguably is the hottest team in the DMV right now. This is going to be an A-caliber matchup. And
most definitely.
And on paper, this seems like a Final Four championship game. This is a quarterfinal matchup.
Man, this is that, man. You could argue like this could be like a semifinal matchup, you know? Even though it's already, like you said, it's a quarterfinal, but whew, like it just that, yeah, I'm definitely staying tuned to that one.
That's gonna be a classic. And of course, you got also Blackhawks and Dream Experience versus Youth. That's going to be a really good one. FOE and Southside. And, of course, the semis, while the championship at 2:15. And as I mentioned, you get not just one option to watch, not just 2, but 3.
3 options, huh?
3 options will be on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch live at the same time on 3 platforms.
Oh, nice.
All 5 games, yeah. That was a big discussion last season. Was it YouTube or Facebook? What's better to watch games on? You get the best of all worlds now.
Look at you. Okay. Yeah, they'll see no mercy in that chip against whoever want to lose.
I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be an awesome Sunday. Tucker Road, MAFFL playoffs. Greg, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
Yes, sir. We'll see you 11:30 Sunday morning. No Mercy Scorpions to take on either the Affiliate Nation or Team Petty.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Good night, Greg.
Good night.